अस्सलाम वालेकुम फ्रेंड्स, उम्मीद करते हैं कि आप सब खैरियत से होंगे। फ्रेंड्स, आज के सेशन में हम डिस्कस करते हैं व्हाट इज़ ऑटो इंश्योरेंस कॉस्ट। ऑटो इंश्योरेंस की क्या कॉस्ट होती है। तो वीडियो की तरफ बढ़ने से पहले हम आपसे रिक्वेस्ट करते हैं कि हमारे चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कर दें। तो चलिए फ्रेंड्स, हम बढ़ते हैं आज के सेशन की तरफ। सबसे पहले हम देखते हैं ऑटो इंश्योरेंस क्या होती है और फिर बाद में हम देखते हैं उसकी कॉस्ट क्या है। व्हेन यू बाय अ लीज अ कार, ठीक है, अब या तो बाय करें या फिर लीज पे कार लें, इट्स इम्पोर्टेंट टू प्रोटेक्ट दैट इन्वेस्टमेंट। तो उस इन्वेस्टमेंट को प्रोटेक्ट करना बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट होता है। गेटिंग ऑटो इंश्योरेंस कैन ऑफर रीअश्योरेंस in case you are involved in an accident or a vehicle is stolen, vandalized or damaged by a natural disaster. Instead of paying out of pocket for auto accidents, people pay annual premiums to an auto insurance company. The company then pay all or most of the cost associated with an auto accident or other vehicle damage. इसके जो कि पॉइंट्स हैं वो देखते हैं। कार इंश्योरेंस इज़ डिज़ाइन टू प्रोटेक्ट यू अगेंस्ट फाइनेंशियल लॉसेस if you are involved in an accident or the vehicle is damaged in some way. Number 2, most states require you have to minimum amounts of liability insurance coverage. Some also require you to have also other coverage types such as uninsured motorized coverage. नेक्स्ट हमारे पास आता है प्रीमियम्स are what you pay monthly, biannually or yearly to maintain a car insurance policy, while deductibles are amounts you pay when you file a claim. It's important to shop around you for the best car insurance rates to find the right coverage for your vehicle at the right price. आगे देखते हैं व्हाट इज़ कार इंश्योरेंस और ऑटो इंश्योरेंस। तो कार इंश्योरेंस इज़ effectively a contract between yourself and an insurance company in which you agree to pay premiums in exchange for protections against financial losses stemming from accident or other damage to the vehicle. To ensure that offer coverage for vehicle damage, including your car or another driver's vehicle, property damage or bodily injury caused by an accident, medical bills or funeral expenses associated with injuries sustained in an accident. Then आगे डिस्कस करते हैं द एग्जैक्ट डिटेल्स ऑफ वर्ड्स कवर्ड डिपेंड ऑन द minimum coverage requirements for your state and any additional coverage options you choose to include. Every state except New Hampshire requires drivers to have a minimum amount of bodily injured liability coverage and property damage liability coverage. इसके बाद हम इसकी इम्पोर्टेंस देखते हैं। इम्पोर्टेंट फॉलोइंग टू obtain the minimum car insurance required by the laws in your state would result in a suspension of your license, fines, or even jail time for repeat offenses. Then auto insurance cost, हम इसकी देखते हैं क्या क्या कॉस्ट होती है। There are two primary costs associated with purchasing car insurance premiums and deductibles. कहते हैं कि ऑटो इंश्योरेंस की जो है उसकी दो मेन टाइप्स हैं। ऑटो इंश्योरेंस प्रीमियम्स vary depending on age, gender, years of driving experience, accident and moving violation history, and other factors. Against most states mandate a minimum amount of auto insurance. That minimum varies by state, but many people purchases additional insurance to protect themselves further. Additionally, if you are financing a car, the lender may speculate that you carry certain types of the car insurance. For instance, you may need gap insurance if you are purchasing an expensive vehicle that will likely participate very quickly once you drive it off the lot. Gap insurance can help to pay off the difference between the vehicle's value and what you still owe on it if you are involved in an accident. A poor driving record or the desire for complete coverage will lead to higher premiums. However, you can reduce your premiums by engineering to take or more risk, which means increasing your deductible. Your deductible is the amount you have to pay when filing a claim before the insurance company will pay out anything to you for damage. For example, your policy may have a $500 to $1,000 deductible. Agreeing to a higher deductible can result in a lower premium, but you have to be responsibly sure you could cover the higher amount if you need to file a claim. इसमें एक टिप है वो हम आपसे डिस्कस करते हैं. Ask your business company about ways you may be able to lower your car insurance rates, such as getting a safe driving discount or taking a defensive ड्राइविंग कोर्स. नेक्स्ट हमारे पास है, हम डिस्कस करते हैं हाउ ऑटो इंश्योरेंस वर्क्स. ऑटो इंश्योरेंस किस तरह से काम करता है. इन एक्सचेंज फॉर पेइंग अ प्रीमियम, द इंश्योरेंस कंपनी एग्रीज टू पे योर लॉसेस as outlined in your policy. Policies are priced individually to let you customize coverage accounts to suit your exact needs and budget. Policy terms are usually 6 to 12 months time frames and are renewable. An insurer will notify a customer when it's time to renew the policy and pay another premium. Regardless of whether they mandate having a minimum amount of auto insurance, nearly every state requires car owners to carry bodily injury liability, which covers costs associated with injuries or death that you and another driver causes while driving your car. They may also require property damage liability, which reimburses other for damage that you or other driver operating your car causes to another vehicle or other property. A number of states go to step further, mandating car owners carry medical payment or personal injury protection, which reimburses medical expenses for injuries sustained by you or your passengers. It will also cover lost wages and other related expenses. Uninsured motorist coverage reimburses you when an accident is caused by a driver who does not have auto insurance. Uninsured motorist coverage is designed to protect you when you are involved in an accident with a driver who has some insurance but not enough to cover the full cost of claim. Note: getting a car insurance policy above the minimum limits set by law may increase the cost of coverage, but it could benefit you later if you are involved in an accident. नेक्स्ट है, हु डज ऑटो इंश्योरेंस कवरेज प्रोटेक्ट. ऑटो इंश्योरेंस कवरेज को प्रोटेक्ट कौन करता है. एन ऑटो इंश्योरेंस पॉलिसी विल कवर यू एंड your family members on the policy, whether driving your car or someone else's car with their permission. Your policy also provides coverage to someone who is not on your policy and is driving your car with your consent. Personal auto insurance always only covers personal driving. It will not provide coverage if you use your car for commercial purposes, such as making deliveries. Neither will it prove coverage if you use your car to work for ride sharing services such as Uber and Lyft. Some auto insurers now offer supplemental insurance products at additional cost that extend coverage for vehicle owners that provide ride sharing services. The bottom line, while हम डिस्कस करते हैं कि while other types of insurance such as health and homeowners may screen more important, it if you own an automobile regardless of whether your state requires auto insurance, having an insurance policy can save you a lot of money and aggravation in a run. Remember to shop around for the best car insurance rates to find the coverage you need to at the price you can afford. इसके देखते हैं रिलेटेड टर्म्स क्या है. व्हाट इज़ इंश्योरेंस? इंश्योरेंस इज़ a contract or policy in which an insurer indemnifies another against losses from specific contingents and or perils. More injury पर्सनल इंजरी प्रोटेक्शन, इसको हम कहते हैं PIP. Personal injury protection is a feature of auto insurance that covers medical expenses related to a car accident. It also known as no fault insurance. पर्सनल इंजरी जो होती है इसको हम PIP भी कहते हैं. इसको ये वो फीचर हैं ऑटो इंश्योरेंस के जिसमें कोई भी मेडिकल एक्सपेंसेस जो होते हैं कार से रिलेटेड नहीं होते. इसको हम नो फॉल्ट इंश्योरेंस भी कहते हैं. लायबिलिटी इंश्योरेंस, व्हाट इज़ इट एंड हाउ इट वर्क्स? इसकी मेजर टाइप्स क्या क्या हैं? लायबिलिटी इंश्योरेंस प्रोवाइड्स द इंश्योर्ड पार्टी विद प्रोटेक्शन अगेंस्ट क्लेम्स resulting from injuries and damage to people and or property. What is subrogation? Subrogation क्या है? Subrogation is the right of an insurer to pursue the party that caused the loss to the insured in an attempt to recover funds paid in the claim. Uninsured motorist coverage UMS को कहते हैं. Uninsured motorist coverage may pay a policyholders damage when an accident involved a driver who does not have insurance or a hit and run. Liability car insurance. Liability car insurance provides financial protection drivers. How much a car insurance do you need? कार इंश्योरेंस कितनी आपको नीड होती है? Your state may require a certain amount of coverage, but it's not always enough. How much a car insurance do you need? The answer depends on a number of factors, including whether you live, how much your car is worth, and what other assets you need to protect. Here is what you need to know. इसकी की जो पॉइंट्स हैं वो देखते हैं. Most states require you to have at least a minimum amount of insurance coverage for any injuries or property damage you cause in an accident. Collision coverage, which is optional, covers damage to your own car in an accident. Comprehensive coverage, also optional, protects against other risks such as theft or fire. Uninsured motorist coverage, mandatory in some states, protects you if you are hit by a driver who does not have insurance. How car insurance works? कार इंश्योरेंस किस तरह से काम करती है? An automobile insurance policy is actually a package of several different types of the insurance. The most common ones are, इसमें different types of the insurance हैं. Bodily injury liability, पहली है bodily injury liability, property damage liability, medical payments or personal injury protection, collision coverage, comprehensive coverage, uninsured or underinsured motorist coverage. तो इसके बाद हम डिस्कस करते हैं कि डिपेंडिंग ऑन द स्टेट यू लिव इन some of these coverages may be mandatory, others optional. If you have an auto loan or lease, your lender may also have certain requirements, but beyond what your state or lender requires, you may want to purchase additional insurance to protect yourself. Here's a closer look at each type of coverage and how to decide how much you really need. Bodily injured liability हम डिस्कस करते हैं. What is covers? What it covers? Bodily injury liability is the part of a car insurance policy that will pay for injuries you or family members who are listed on your policy caused to someone else in an auto accident. How much you need? Virtually every state requires drivers to purchase bodily injury liability coverage, although the amount varies from the state to state. On an auto insurance policy, your liability coverage is typically expressed as a series of these numbers, such as 25, 50, 20. The first number represents the maximum number insurer will pay per person if you injure someone in an accident. $25,000 is in its example. The second number is the maximum it will pay for accident in case more than one person is injured. $50,000 in case. The third number refers to the property damage liability. You will need to purchase at least the minimum amount of bodily injured coverage that your state requires. For many states, that's 25,000 per person and 50,000 per accident, although some states are lower or higher. Your state's minimum requirements might not be enough. However, especially if you are involved in a serious accident, you will need to consider your assets and whether they had be adequately protected in the event of a lawsuit. For example, if you own your home or have a sustainable amount of money in savings, a costly accident could put them at risk. In that case, you will want to buy more coverage. The non-profit Consumers Checkbook, among others, recommends buying coverage of at least 100 350 just in case. The difference in cost between that coverage and your state's minimum will probably not be very much. You can buy even more coverage than that, 250, 500, 100, say. If you have more assets to protect, you can also purchase an umbrella policy which will raise both your auto and home insurance liability coverage to $1 million or more. Property damage liability. What it covers? Property damage liability covers the cost when you or members of your family damage another person's car or other property, such as a tree or fence, in an accident. How much you need? As with bodily injury liability, virtually every state requires you to have some amount of property damage coverage. It's represented on your policy as the third number in that sequence. So, our 25, 50, 20 policy would provide $20,000 in coverage. Some states require you have you to have a little as $10,000 and even $5,000 in property damage liability coverage, but $20,000 or $25,000 minimum are most common. Again, you may want to buy more coverage than your state's minimum, but unless you find yourself in a collision with a Lamborghini or Rolls Royce, you probably don't face as much financial risk as you would in an accident in which people are seriously injured। तो फ्रेंड्स, ये था हमारा आज का सेशन। मिलते हैं नेक्स्ट वीडियो में। अपना ख्याल रखिएगा। अल्लाह हाफिज़।